Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to X. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day. Tottenham fans, I know you're not, but never mind. Look, this is obviously the match reaction for last night's game. I wouldn't say it was a fantastic North London derby. Definitely not the best, one of the best ones I've seen. But the important thing for the Arsenal side of it is we won. And that's the important factor. We go into the weekend now 4 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool with a game in hand, so technically 7. But the main thing is we've got 3 points. It wasn't the greatest Tottenham performance, wasn't the greatest Arsenal performance, but we came out on top. In theory, if we had a striker, we probably could have won that 5-6-0. Seems to be a similar trend that I seem to be talking about on these reactions, that if we had a striker, we would have scored a lot more goals. But we didn't. But it is what it is. Obviously, Arsenal are working hard now to try and sign the striker. How confident I am getting one. There's definitely some options, and we're definitely working hard on it. I guarantee we'll get one signing. I just don't know who. But yeah, it's going to be one of those windows where it's why I haven't done a transfer stream, because it is currently. I guarantee the Arsenal fans are just having a massive breakdown at the moment, and I don't want to add to the stress. So unless there's anything concrete to talk about with you guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth stressing you out. It's not worth giving you false hope. So this is why I don't do it. But yeah, let's get into the comments, because there's already been some as well. So big up to my mate Chris. It's a well-deserved win, but Villa be hard against Spurs with just Spurs. Don't know how we lost to them. You could see Arsenal issues that they need to strengthen, which was attack. Should have had more. Totally agree. I'm still confident in us despite recent results. I do think all noise in background has had some effect on Trent, especially definitely not other two. Yeah, well, I know that I can't think of the team. Who's the team that Neymar plays for? The team that Neymar plays for are trying to get Salah in the summer. So, yeah, I don't know what that means for Neymar, to be fair. Where's Neymar going? I've never thought of that, to be fair. But yeah, it's going to be who drops the least points, as we will drop both drop more points, and I still think you will drop more than us. I still feel this paper's over cracks, but who knows? Yeah. Until we get what we need, I don't think we're going to win the league, because we are not ready to take you on. I'll be honest, we're not. You are in a better position than we are. We haven't got the, funny enough, the armory to take you guys on. I'll be honest. I've said it all season. We needed some reinforcements in the front line. We haven't got them. I know that Ozzy Gooner, Steve, and I'll agree with him here. We don't have a number 8, which is a problem. Marino's not good enough. So, yeah, we're lacking in midfield as well. But I think this window and the summer window, I think next season we will definitely make a better fist of it. At the moment, we're just going to fall at the wayside again, in my opinion. If we don't do it, and it's Arsenal, so you should win it. Sorry for Capital, so I was expected to be there if City fell off short start of season. The other was a mystery. Yeah, let's be honest, no one expected this from City. I didn't, that's for certain. Obviously, I know a lot of people are enjoying it. I don't enjoy it for the fans of City, but I do enjoy it because it's City. That's the way I look at it. I always feel sorry for the fans, but I never feel sorry for the club sometimes. Lewis Skelly was your man of the match. We'll get onto that in a bit, but yes, he was fantastic. last night. Harrison Neal has gone to Fleetwood. Must have took him a week to get there with the way he moves on football. But when I said it, it was done on Saturday. I wish people would catch up with my sources. Where exactly? Big up to Carl. Afternoon, mate. Hope you're doing well. Afternoon, PB. Good result last night. 3 badly needed points, but need to finish our dinner and not just starters. Totally agree, Brent. Hope you're doing well as well. This is a fan reaction to all the transfer gossip now. It does feel like that. Obviously, there's been so much over the last few days, and I get it, and I do respond as much as I possibly can. Obviously, people that are in the group WhatsApp on the army, obviously, there's loads of chat, and it does continuously go 24 hours a day. So if you do want to, if you are watching and you want to be part of it, message me on X. And I'll add you to the WhatsApp group because honestly, I want everyone to be there. It's not just me. There's loads of us, people in the comments, other hosts that are in there. Brenny's in there, Canna's in there, Gums is in there, Tony's in there, Cole's in there. Everyone's in there. And I don't ever feel like anyone's above anyone else. All fans are equal. Everyone. If you want to be part of the show, let me know again, and I'll get you on the show. It's as simple as that. There is no hierarchy, as far as I'm concerned. I hope you up late. I'll be a lot better when January's done. January's just so stressful. I know I've got another match preview to do tomorrow. Then I've got another one for next week, and then another one, and then it's just non-stop at the moment. And I've obviously got to try and do the transfer stuff. So, yeah, it's madness. Cole looking at a strike. Well, let's hope. Let's hope. I just hope we get it. We're working hard on it, and that's the most important thing right now. Is that we're not just sitting on our butts doing nothing. We're trying our best. So yeah, big up to Simba saying big up Bobby. Hope you're doing well. 100% about a striker. Evening to Tammy. Hope you're doing well, Tammy. So I'll get my words out. Yeah, exactly. I'll add to the conversation, mate. Add to the conversation in there. It's brilliant chat. Where is Dermot now? Well, Dermot, as I said to Dermot, if you want to drop in, he's more than welcome. I'm not going to call him out, and I'd have no issues. Obviously, I know he's very upset about last night's game, mainly because of the performance of Tottenham, which I do get. Obviously, I've got to watch the game myself. And yeah, that was a very poor performance by Tottenham for a North London derby. That was horrendous. There was no fight in that team whatsoever. Bring it on. Just had Newcastle. Oh, now we're talking. McDonald's so clever what they've done. It's 2 chicken selects and bloody sweet curry dip. I liked it, but bloody hell. Is that all they've done? Is that seriously all it is? Oh, I thought they'd actually done something special to it. I had heard that that's pretty much what it was. I do like the chicken selects, to be fair, and I do like the sweet curry dip. But if that's all they've literally done, that's pretty pathetic. If I'm honest. Al Hilal, thank you, mate. I knew you'd know. Just Calvert-Lewin up front last night, and we would have won 5-1, says Timmy. I'm not sure about DCL being up front, but yeah. What an awful game of football. Love you too, Cole. Yeah, it wasn't. Look, it wasn't the greatest game last night. It wasn't the greatest North London derby I've ever seen. Tottenham just weren't in the game. I don't know what's going on with Tottenham, but Arsenal, bit better, not great, but we've got to start finishing these chances off because honestly, it's a nightmare. We haven't got fun enough the armory, especially on those comments. I know it's mad, isn't it? Real question: transfer fee to ability comparison. Who's really better? It goes first. That's no go. Oh, crikey. Look, I love Kai. You know I do. And he is a good player. He's just not that player. And I think it was McCoy said it. He was headering like a midfielder. And for anyone that's played football well enough and understands that, I totally understand it. He is like a midfielder up front, and that is what he is. You know, he's great on the right, and we haven't got to see that, and that upsets me a bit. But if I was him and if I was Arsenal, I would definitely consider selling him in the summer for him and for Arsenal because there's no space for him. I never really understood the signing. It didn't make sense to me. Arteta was trying to say, "Oh, look, I'm going to be able to get him to become." I think he was trying to do an Henri. I think that's what he was trying to do. He was thinking, okay, obviously Henri came in as a winger, and Wenger turned him into a striker. Yes, that works with Henri because you saw his finishing ability beforehand. Havertz has never been a really big goal scorer. He's not really been a goal threat. And we're trying to make him one. And obviously it's going to look bad on him sometimes. He's going to have little purple patches because all players do. Lundberg had loads of purple patches when he scored loads of goals. Didn't mean he was a striker. You know, but it's just mad. Sorry. Having my little rant there. Don't feel sorry for City fans. They're just United fans who can get see Old Trafford. Right. I will state this very clearly. That is not me saying it. That is Colm. Okay, not me. Do not come for me. I did not say this. This is Colm. Okay, so all go and find him. Big up to Michael. Say hi, Bobby. Great night. Tottenham tears will always be delicious. Imagine in May when we play you at Anfield, it's title decider, mate. You know what that reminds me of? 1989. That's 1989, that is, mate. Would suit everyone to play once a week again. Oh, geez, it would be. Honestly, it's just so blooming long at the moment. Dermot was upset about their performance, was in the chat last night on his watch along, bless him. I do feel sorry because I love Dermot to bits, and I do feel bad for him because obviously for me, football fans are more important than the actual clubs. McDonald's are pathetic, to be fair. Don't want to spend budget. Fair enough. Didn't feel like no, it didn't. I'm glad I didn't feel that, to be fair, either. Lord Bentner over Havertz says, Colm, you're just trying to wind me up. Chicken Select's my favourite too, but bloody hell, talk about being... That is being lazy. I thought they'd be... thought they would have done a little bit more of that. I could have got Chicken Selects on my own, and exactly, and it would have been cheaper, I would have thought, as well. Is the Sesko talk the forward you might or might not have been suggested, Bobby? Okay, so Sesko's a possibility. It is extremely hard. If Okafor deal didn't fall through, for people that are unaware of the situation with Okafor, they agreed a deal with AC Milan, I think it's AC Milan, to sign Okafor, and then he failed his medical, which is very, very rare in nowadays. Normally, you have enough gist of people's medical history before you go to the medical. But yeah, Okafor failed his medical. So that fell through. So the only way Sesko would be able to leave. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen because there's a lot still to work on. But if Leipzig do get a forward, then that opens a door for Sesko even more. Vlahovic is a possibility. Wemo is a possibility. But again, with Brentford would have to replace Wemo. Gyökeres is an option now. But again, Sporting Lisbon would have to replace Gyökeres. But the main positive out of all of this is we are talking and we are looking at a striker, as everyone wants us to get a striker in. Now, Mouani leaving to go to Juventus has obviously helped the situation because Juventus possibly can let Vlahovic go for the right price or a loan with an option. I'm going to guess they'll probably want an obligation to buy, if I'm honest, because I think Juventus will be wanting the guaranteed money, not just or possibly might leave at the end of the season. So there's many, many different options at the moment, and that's the positive. There's still 2 weeks to go. I'm definitely not downhearted on Ender situations at the moment. I know Arsenal would have loved to get someone in for the Villa game. Don't see it happening. But at least we're trying. And obviously, we've got the second leg against Newcastle beginning of Feb. Obviously, we would love a striker in by then because, as you could probably see, we're struggling to score more than 2 goals. But yeah, it's so so tough right now, Michael. Come at me, City. Yes, he lives in Sheffield. There you go, Cole. I think I said it. It looked and felt like a pre-season game last night. Why can't the fans crowdfund Isaac to Arsenal? Is it illegal? It is illegal, unfortunately. But look, I think Isaac we've got to forget about now. Unless Newcastle have the worst end of the season and they fall out of all Europe, they fall out of cups, they don't win nothing. I don't see Isaac leaving. And I agree with what Stan says here. Don't pay the 150 million quid. I don't want to pay 150 million quid on him. It's stupid. It hurts our budget for the rest of the stuff that we want to do. And I don't see the value in it. Yes, he's a great player, but I don't want to pay 150 million quid for him. I'll be honest, I don't. I'd rather spend money elsewhere and get a striker in. I never wanted Mwani anywhere near my club. Same with Flajovic. Flajovic is again a possibility. Mwani, as I said, never said it was a possibility ever. No worries, mate. Hope you're all good. Throw your money at Newcastle for Isaac, says Calm. Rasmus would be available if the right price is offered. Xerxes is. Xerxes available. Right, let's talk about this game. Because I do need to be done by 5, so I need to make sure I get started. So, obviously, we dominated the first 25 minutes, and then typically, what happens? Tottenham score a goal. Now, I will stay, and obviously, I do rate Hover at the end of the stream as well. That was horrendous defending at set pieces last night. I don't know what he was drinking. What he'd taken. I don't know what he was thinking. You do that against Liverpool and you will lose every single time. My God, 2 against 2, and they weren't even the best defenders that we had marking their front 2 either. That was horrendous. No one on the edge of the box. Absolutely. Just, yeah, I don't want to see that again, please. Because we do that against Villa. They'll hurt us because they're quick on the attack. Ollie Watkins loves scoring against us. So yeah, I don't want to see that on Saturday, if I'm honest. So I hope he changes that because I have no wish to see that again. But deflected shot by Son. Tottenham take the lead. Obviously, set piece for the Arsenal equaliser. Obviously, at first, everyone thought it was Gabriel with the touch, but it wasn't. It was off Solanke. And then Trossard. Lovely. Kinski could have done better, I'll be honest. And he should have done better. But, yeah, great by Trossard. Great ball by Odegaard as well. I know a lot of people think I just constantly hate him. I don't, because last night he actually had a decent game. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but he had a decent game last night. But yeah, I think was it first half? I think it was first half. I can't remember who said it on commentary. But there was a free kick quite close to the penalty area. And even the commentator did think that Odegaard would actually go for goal. And I said to myself, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen like that, people. And I wish he had, because, with the kind of game that Kinski was having, maybe we might have scored a free kick last night. It would have been nice. Apparently everyone is available. Yes, pretty much. There's a couple of players that are no goals. But yeah, pretty much the whole squad is available if the price is right. Pretty sure it's a game show. Kinski looks dodgy a few times. Yeah. It's weird because I was actually hyping him up in the preview. But yeah, he looked really dodgy. But it's one of those, isn't it? Is it the situation he's in as well? Because obviously Arsenal pressurise the defence as soon as that ball comes out. Is he not used to that? I don't know. He's definitely used to it at derbies because obviously he played in the Prague derby, which, if you've ever been to it, is extremely hostile. If you think the North London's hostile, the North London derby is like a big park full of fairies and butterflies compared to the Prague derby. Yeah, it's mad. I told Dermot I'm not fully convinced with him before the game last night. I think he's talented. I I think chucking him in the deep end is not going to help him. I think for him, he does need baby steps, and he's literally being shoved in the deep end, which I think will damage him long term, which is a shame because I do think there is a lot of good goalkeepers from that part of Europe at the moment, a lot. And Kinksky, would I pay 12 million quid for him? Probably not. Probably around maximum 10, in my opinion. I think they did overpay for him, in my opinion, but maybe that's because it's the January window, maybe. But yeah, obviously they're in big problems as well. You know, Vicario's out, Forster's sick. So, yeah. Yep, I agree. Odegaard with it. I personally think take the captain stress away from him, and I think we might see a better improved player in Odegaard. I'm not saying he's bad before anyone says it, because I'm not. There is a player in there. But I do think sometimes when you're a captain, it does put pressure on you. And I don't think he's a captain. I've not seen any sign of it, personally. There's other players on that field that do show signs of being a captain. Gabriel comes to mind. Declan Rice comes to mind. There's others than Odegaard. You know, even I know Superpendi is coming in the summer, but I'd even say Zubimendi would make a good captain personally. He's a very wise young guy. I would say around 7 to 8 million. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's the goals. Stats wise, possession 53% for Arsenal, 47 for Tottenham, 14 shots for Arsenal, 10 for Tottenham, 4 on target for Arsenal, 2 for Tottenham, 10 corners for Arsenal, 4 for Tottenham. Final third phase passing accuracy was 76 for Arsenal, 72 for Tottenham. So not great, but not awful. I've seen worse. There was one the other day, I think it was 50%. It was shocking. I can't remember who that was. I think that might have been United, actually. But yeah, 50%. Right. This is not going to please me, by the way. This is why, clearly, we're having a problem. Right, so XG, 1.45 for Arsenal, 0.78 for Tottenham. 1.2 from XG open play compared to Tottenham's 0.44. 0.24 XG set play, 0.34 for Tottenham. Obviously, no XG from penalties. This is where the problem is, and this is where, and everyone should be banging Arteta's door and look at these stats. And I know a lot of people don't like them, but this is the important bit. When you compare the XG on target to the XG, it should be very close, or, if better, above it. Like Tottenham's is 0.88 for Tottenham. Ours was 0.29. Like, what the actual heck was that? Not even a quarter of our XG last night. That's how bad it was. And this is not the first time. This is, I think, the second time in a week now. It has to be better. And the only way we can really do this is by buying a striker. Personally, hell no. If I had time, mate, I would literally time you out. I would actually not be surprised if Odegaard had the captaincy taken from him and given to Rice. It was probably an intention when Rice was signed anyway, and Arteta would do that. I honestly, I don't think Arteta would. When it comes to being harsh, I do think he would literally sell someone and bring someone else in. He's had history of that. I don't think he'd do the captain thing. I don't think he's brave enough. And Odegaard is, yeah, I don't know how he'd take it. If Odegaard said, you know what, boss, I don't think I should be captain anymore, then great, wonderful. I don't see Martin doing that, though. And I definitely don't see Arteta taking it off him. Personally. I personally would. But the thing is, Declan's not even vice captain, which worries me even more because Jesus, Saka, Gabriel, Jorginho. Can't think of anyone else, but they're all above Declan, and I'm like, Declan for me shouts to me as captain. It's not just his Irish blood. It's just the way he is on the pitch. He always acts like a captain. And obviously, being Arsenal fans, we've seen many great Arsenal captains and some shit ones, if I'm honest as well. But we've seen some very many good Arsenal captains in our time. So we know what we're looking at, and we know what we're looking for. You know, Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Henry. So we know what we're looking at. And I just think Declan's the right one, personally. It would destroy the cohesion if Odegaard is suddenly removed from captaincy without him doing something really bad. Yeah. I don't think Arteta would take that risk, personally. I hope Martin says, you know what, boss? I don't think I'm the right man. I would love it. I would actually probably highly respect Martin for doing that, but I don't think he would. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Right, let's move on to the next slide. Duels. Guess what? We lost again. Well, we won the duels overall, but we lost ground duels. Yes. You're probably looking at that team last night and go, how the hell did we lose ground duels to Tottenham? I don't know. I haven't got a bloody clue. Because it definitely weren't Lewis Skelly. I don't go into every single one because it takes me hours to do. But yes, we lost ground duels again last night against what I have to say was a very poor Tottenham team. Aerial duels, I would have been so angry if we lost these. So angry. But no, we beat them, thankfully, because our team is extremely taller than Tottenham's. Perfect dribbles, 47 compared to Tottenham's 50. And the final one, passes, 428 for Arsenal, 375 for Tottenham. Accuracy in passes, 83 compared to 84 for Tottenham. Own half, 127 for Arsenal, 205 for Tottenham, 230 in the opposition half, 109 for Tottenham. Accuracy in long balls, 53% for Arsenal, 33 for Tottenham. Accuracy in crosses, 24% for both teams. Touches in the opponent's box, 48 for Arsenal, 21 for Tottenham. I think that's the most we've conceded opposition touches in the box for quite a while, to be honest. I don't think any of them have been above 20 for quite a while. So, yeah, that was quite interesting that Tottenham had got that many. I think that was probably mainly from a couple of plays that they did. Obviously, wasn't over the whole game. It was mainly a certain period that they were doing. Lost them to a team that ended up playing a one-bad midfield. Yeah, Bergvall, who's a quality player, by the way. I do like that Bergvall. Right, let's go into the team that was selected. I don't think anyone really had a problem, if we're honest. I didn't really. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis, Skelly, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Sterling, Trossard, Havertz. I think overall, I don't think any of us were really upset by it. Obviously, some people would have maybe had Martinelli in the team, and that's fine. Calafiori was out, so Lewis Skelly was going to play. I'm thankful that I didn't have to see Partey at right back, so that's always a bonus for me. So I'm going to go into ratings. Sorry, I need to open my phone up for this. Because I do use my phone to help me on this. Right, so Raya. Sorry, I do look at all the little bits and bobs details about his game. Raya gets a 7. He didn't have to do anything major. And what he did have to do was fine. Obviously, the goal that he conceded was deflected. So, again, he gets out of that one. Timber gets a... Timber gets a 7. That's not being horrible. 7's still a good score. So only because I want to highlight the next 3 more than Timber. Because Timber had a good game, but I did feel that Saliba had a good game. So he gets an 8. Then I move on to the next two. And this is where the numbers get crazy. Because Gabriel gets a 9. I loved Gabriel last night. Lewis Skelly, definitely a 9. Absolutely loved it. His performance last night was just incredible. And as much as I don't like this inverted BS, Lewis Skelly is clearly a midfielder with so much promise. And I hope to see him there more than I see him at left back, if I'm honest. But it's also quite helpful that he can fill in at left back as well. So, you've got the first two to see there. Thomas Partey. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about Thomas. Minimum 7. I'm just trying to work out, did he get an 8? Let's break down his stats a bit. So it's the duels, because obviously someone didn't win duels. Oh, no, he won one. So he's going to get an... he's going to get a 7, actually. Okay, he's going to get a 7. Declan gets an 8. Yeah, Declan gets an 8. Odegaard gets an 8. Yeah. Sterling gets a 7. I did feel that he made wrong decisions in a couple of times. But as I said, this is his third start. He hasn't really embedded into the team because he hasn't been playing, which is never going to help him. But yeah, wasn't an awful performance, but wasn't great. So a 7 for him. Trossard, 8. No, 9. Trossard gets a 9. Yeah. Just that turn on Porro. Lovely. I did actually fear for Porro at the time when I watched it. I was like, oh, Christ, I hope he's all right. But yeah. Havertz, I'm sorry, mate. As much as I love you. 6 for me. Sorry, he's got to get a 6. Right, let's have a look. See, here we are. Where have I lost here? The Armory sponsored by Google Pixel. Hope you are happy and healthy, one and all. Thank you very much. Geeks, stop it. Couldn't help it, Bren. I know exactly what you want about. Right, Colm's ratings. Interesting. Raya average 6. Timber 7, Gabson Saliba 8, Lewis 9, Partey 7, Rice 7, Odegaard 8, Sterling an 8, Trossard at 8, Havertz 6. Interesting. Big Gabson is him in defence, our best defender in my humble opinion. Totally agree, geeks. Totally agree. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Temmie's Raya 6, Timber 8, Saliba 7, Big Gabby 10, man of the match, MLS 10, Partey an 8, Rice 8, Odegaard 7, needs his shooting boots, Trossard 7, rest, mid not applicable, standard 4, Miteta gets a 4 too. Also in defence, Sol Campbell 10, beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Zinni gets a 10 for gracing the pitch with his eminence. FCN rates Sterling at 8. Ban him from channel, please. Well, he's my co-host, so I can't do that. No, but look, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and I personally think it was a 7. I didn't think it was an awful performance by Sterling, but I didn't think it was great. So don't feel comfortable rating him higher than Timber, in my opinion. So yeah, he gets a 7 for me for Sterling. Right, let's move on to the subs. Martinelli came on for Sterling. This is tough. Because I don't think he really added anything, if I'm honest. He came on for, 34, 35 minutes. So, 6. Going to have to be honest. Dean coming up with Raya gets a 7. No, that's fair dues. He didn't do much, didn't do anything wrong last night. So it's very hard to score someone high when they didn't have to do much, if I'm honest. Tierney came on for Tross. Now, I don't know when this will be his last appearance. He will be leaving. He could be leaving in this window, depending on how Celtic want to try and do a deal. But if not, he will be signing for Celtic at the end of the season, no matter what. So, yeah, I'll be sad to see him go, if I'm honest, Tierney. But he came on for enough time, so we'll score him. But again, I can't give him a 7. Can't give him a 5. So I'm going to give him a 6. That's not me saying he was terrible, because he wasn't. So yeah, just to let you know, Marino came on, Zinni came on. Let's move on to Over. They only came on for 5 minutes, so I don't feel I need to talk about them because I can't even rate him anyway. Right, Hover, as I said, was going to mention him because I didn't like what he did yesterday with defensive free kicks, corner kicks. So I have to be honest with myself and say that was a 4 from Hover because, yes, offensively, good. Defensively last night, I hated it. So, and because I use the word hate, which I don't really use very often, I'm going to mark it down to 4 because I don't want to see that again. I don't really want to see that again at all. Arteta, he did nothing wrong, really. So 7. Yeah, I don't know where I can get an 8 from, if I'm honest. So a 7 for me. Here's Dean's full ratings: Raya 7, Timber 7, Saliba 8, Gabriel 9, MLS 9, Party 8, Rice 7, Odegaard 7, Sterling 7, Trossard 9, and Havertz present. Yeah. I get that. He was present. Yeah. Bobby, Trossard, Havertz, and Martinelli all can score. Could be great, but lack consistent end product. Problem with the coaching? Yes. To be honest, I do think that there's an aspect missing. And I've always said this about the coaching team. Obviously, we all know who they are: Miguel, Carlos, Albert, Martin, Sam. Go on for ages on the coaching team. And obviously we do have scoring training and all that kind of stuff, finishing end products and all that kind of stuff. But there's just something not quite right there. And I doesn't make sense because they do put them in the back of the net in training constantly. But you're also playing sometimes against the youth because the youth, make up the numbers to sometimes do 11 against 11 or whatever they want to try and do. So when you see like the likes of Heaven has taken part in training and all the other youth players that have been taking part in training, Nichols obviously sort of have to say about Josh. Sadly, Josh is out for a long time now. He's got a lengthy injury. So sad to see because this kid I was actually excited about maybe seeing this season, but doesn't look likely now, unfortunately. But yeah, so there's just for me something not quite right. But I do feel that the best way of dealing with this is just getting a striker, because it just solves the problem. I would like to say big up to 266 people watching right now. I do really appreciate it. There will be another preview tomorrow, by the way. Obviously got to do the Aston Villa game. There will be a watch long on Saturday night as well, which I've missed, to be fair. I do miss doing the watch longs. But yeah. I gets a 4 for filling the squad and signing Ghost Verts. I'd give Arteta an 8 extra point for how he handled the Havertz stuff in his press conference. No, fair dues. I'll give Arteta a 6 for playing youth this season. I wish he'd play a little bit more. There is a couple of others that we could have given chances to and would have helped us out in this sticky patch that we're in right at the moment with the squad. So yeah. Geek saying here, I agree. Is the attacking, coaching, training good enough to impact, replicate what they need to do in a live match? No, again, I agree. It's very difficult when you're bringing in the youth to help with the training, which is basically what they're there for, and to train around the first teamers. You're not replicating live match scenarios. So what I personally would have done, is would have big up to them. I'm just going to try and finish this point. Sorry, is would have done some behind the closed doors games or something like that, just to help them out, because training and live matches are very different. So it's not helping, and we don't actually have a proper forward coach in our coaching team, which is slightly worrying, if I'm honest. Right, Mr. Dermot, how are we doing?
Broken.
You're right.
I don't know what got me more about that fight, Bobby, and it's not the manager and who I'm now, sadly, I'm Andy and Jout now after last fight.
Yeah.
It was you and me have been around the block a few times with games like this, Bobby and Brenny, and we're all sort of around the same sort of era as football fans. Now, to me, and I swear to God, that second half showed no bottle, no passion, no nothing. If you had a striker, you would have beaten 6-1. And I'm so angry at the moment for my club. I'm so angry with the players. I'm so angry with Ange. And I think, and what annoys me more, you've got the bragging rights for next season, and that hurts. That hurts like hell. I'm a broken man. I was close to tears. I did a show last night. I'll be sorry. I'll shut up in a minute. And I was close to tears.
No, I don't blame you. You know, being a football fan is extremely hard. Extremely hard, especially when your team's not doing well. And we all know it because we're all football fans, and Arsenal have not always been great. We're quite privileged that it's Arsenal in your terms, Tottenham, because there's obviously a lot of teams in worse boats than all of our teams. But it's so hard being a football fan.
Do you know what? And what was nice, the likes of, I know Tenny is giving me, and I love the back of the Tenny, so I'm not taking any of that personally, like banter, and that I expect it. But the likes of you and Brenny, were really nice. Brenny was a gentleman last night.
Yeah, he said he was.
Was I all right?
Yeah.
That was never a corner.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. It was never a corner, mate. But unfortunately, that happens in so many bloody games. It's ridiculous.
What got me too was that second goal for Trossard, right?
Yeah.
Started by Odegaard. What a pass from Odegaard, by the way.
Yes.
And I'm going to say his name, Declan Rice. He ran that midfield last night.
Yes. Well, to be fair, you didn't actually have a midfield.
No,
in all fairness.
This is the problem I have with Ange right now.
Yeah.
Is if that was any other manager, he would have probably changed the formation a little bit. Keep players on there, tactically. He brings up two attacking midfielders. These both been on his own.
Yes.
And it's like saying to Arsenal's midfield, well, here you go, guys. There's the midfield for you.
I know. I was very confused by that halftime sub. I have to be honest. I was like, "What? What are you trying to do?" But yeah, it didn't work anyway. But as I said to Colm this morning, I think he's dangling off the edge at the moment, and I think he has to get a result against Everton at the weekend, or I think he's gone.
I'm surprised he's still in the job. I'm telling you.
I think what's helping him a little bit is obviously your injury crisis. Obviously, that does help anybody.
Yeah.
But the performance last night wasn't there, and that's what you need. It's okay having loads of injuries, but you have to have the performance. And apart from, I can probably say 3 players that I was very impressed with last night. The rest of them just didn't care. Actually, I'll probably say 4 because I thought Sonny did care. Because Son obviously knows the North London derby well enough. But I listened to a little bit of your stream last night with Tequila, And I thought Tequila brought up a really good point. None of your players understand a North London derby.
No,
None of them.
he was right on that.
And you don't really have players coming through like your youth academy and stuff. Obviously, we've got a couple. I know we don't have many, but we do have a couple that are brought up at Arsenal. Know Arsenal, so they know what North London derby is. So if any player goes, "Oh, this is just another game," that those young kids will tell that player, "No, it bloody well isn't." Do you know what I mean?
Last night was screaming for like something like a Tony Adams or a Steve Bold or
Yeah.
Or who else, like back Steve Perriman or.
Well, I was thinking Gary Mabbott, to be honest, because he was one of my favourites at Tottenham in the defence, because he never took no shit from nobody. That guy. No. It's just obviously I know I'm an Arsenal fan, and I know this is an Arsenal channel and it's an Arsenal stream, but this is the way I work, and I'm sorry it might upset some Arsenal fans, but it is sad to see Tottenham the way that they performed last night in a North London derby. It was like no fight, like. Derbies, I love watching the Munich Dortmund one. I love watching Real Madrid versus Barcelona. I love watching derbies because it's always feisty. It's always entertaining. You know, Kinski would have known what the derby's like because he had to do the Prague one last, I think it's October, and Prague is horrendous. I don't recommend going to watch it unless you've got loads of bulletproof armor and protection behind you. But last night it just didn't feel like a North London derby. And Brenny said it earlier. It was just another game, which it shouldn't be.
Temmy's right in the chat when he says, "Domo, we would beat you 6-1 if we had it." Do you know what? I agree with that.
Yeah.
It was like, look, last night I thought Archie Gray, 2 18-year-olds are showing the senior pros what it means.
Yeah.
Jed Spence, what a redemption story. What a redemption story, like.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate losing to Arsenal, but I have utmost respect for you and Brenny and like Colin, utmost respect for Colin. You know what I think of you guys because we're like a family. It doesn't matter who we support. We're like a family, like. And I think in there last night, if it was like me and Tequila and Carl against you, Brenny, and I don't know, Temmy, say, you would get that would be a North London derby. Last night wasn't a North London derby on one side.
No.
And I was giving it all that before the game, back to South London and, you know.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant. It's all like, and I sat there with the second goal and I actually watched the game again today on my phone, right?
Why did you do that?
Because I wanted to, last night when you do the watch along, you know yourself.
Yeah.
You're watching the game, but you're not watching it properly.
Because you've got comments and
to do.
Yeah.
And I looked at the second goal. And
yes.
I just thought, Draxon, you should have belted over to Trossard. Make it tougher for him.
Yeah.
Kingston, what are you doing, man? You know, it's just, I hate it. I hate how I feel today. I hate how I feel. And I feel basically broken. Spurs are broken.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The last time I felt like this was the AC Milan game under Conte, but I was always Ange, but I think Ange's place at Tottenham's now become untenable, in my opinion now.
Yeah, it's the problem is we're in January. It's probably the worst time, unless you're going to sack him literally immediately now, because then he's got the new guy has 2 weeks to kind of do something. It's the worst time to sack a manager because he's got the squad that Ange had in the first place, so it's damage control now. You know, but I just want to get through the comments because they are building up. And there's
sorry.
As well. No, it's all right. Michael Harris saying the XG and the big missed chances remind me so much of last season pre-Dubai. We clicked the switch after that, but we feel we need to do it before the next trip and then come back firing 100%. Seems like Arteta has only just realised how useful the youth players can be. Hopefully he uses them more in the future. It helps not only for the squad, but also financially as well, because you're not having to spend money on a squad place just for the fun of it, because you've literally got a kid that can just step into that place. Because what I was told, Lewis Skelly would be like replacing El Neni, who obviously left last summer. And Lewis Skelly has played way more than what El Neni would have. Neri should have played more, but hasn't, because he could have covered Saka if he was given the chance. But obviously he's now injured, but he should be back next week. So yeah, we could have done it in a different manner. But the striker is something that we have to physically go and buy because there is no one in our squad that can do that, unfortunately. Dermot and Bosland, two gifts that keep giving. Couldn't even beat a toothless Arsenal, Dermot. We did talk about this in the preview, to be fair. We both said it could be 0-0. We can't score, you can't defend. So it could have been 0-0.
That is very true.
Yeah, when we were paying off the Emirates, the quality of player we signed suffered. I feel Tottenham is in a similar space. Not for me. I don't think Tottenham's finances are down to stadium-related situation, personally. Tottenham have got money. They're just, yeah. It's Tottenham, unfortunately. Dermot, we would have beaten you 6-0 if we had a decent striker up front. Totally agree. I thought Spence was quality. Yeah, Jed Spence looked amazing. And to be fair, he's not even a left back. He's a right back. He did that very well, Jed, last night. Bergval looked brilliant. And the other one was Archie Gray, who is clearly related to so many people within football. Obviously, Eddie Gray, Stuart Gray, Andy Gray. The Gray family are all embedded in football. So you can quite clearly tell how talented that kid is. Never seen that from a Spurs side before in a North London derby. No, nor have I. And Brenny's watched football way longer than I have, but I've never seen it. It's horrendous. To be fair, Gabriel stopped Solanke having a tap in. Yes, agree. You did have two very good chances as well. Gabriel was that was probably the best tackle I've seen in a long time from Gabriel, because for me that was a guaranteed. Well, maybe I won't say guaranteed goal because obviously Solanke still got to score it, but guaranteed very good chance for Solanke. Brenny saying big up to Dermot, and it is more the boardroom than Ange for me. Sack Ange, but the ownership gets 18 months of dross till the pressure builds on the new manager. Pretty much, yeah. All I would say is, I don't know if Dermot remembers what was being said yesterday in the chat today, but I had obviously spoke to someone today, and before he said hello to me, do you know what he did?
What?
Played Right Said Fred. So thank you, whoever put that in the comment yesterday, because that's the first. He didn't even say hello to me. He just literally put Right Said Fred on. And I was like, seriously, I didn't even say the comment. I'm getting punished for something I didn't even say.
Right, there was a story behind that. We were talking about transfers, and I put in Right Said Fred because, as a joke of Leesley getting out of the car with the top to the right and ripping over his vest, like, I am too sexy to on top. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I said it to Carl, and Carl put it in chat. I mean, we have a weird sense of humor over THFC thing like that. I mean, some of the things we do talk about. Borderline, need to put me into a loony bin.
It's just mad, mate, mad. But yeah, I can take this off anyway. Look, this is what we like. Look, you know, obviously, Full-Time Sports Network is a network. We've got a family here. Obviously, I know people do banter. I don't do it personally. I like to wind up people, but not really football related. I just like to wind people up because it's fun to do. But you know, especially with Colm being from Sheffield, I know how much he loves Sheffield.
Sheffield. He was telling me last night.
See, I knew it. Yeah. See, told you.
Yeah.
I know he's not in the comments because he would be soon on there. So that's all good. But look, mate, all I would say, when's your next game? Is it Sunday?
Sunday, 2:00.
Yeah, I would definitely try and give yourself some 12 hours rest from just football. That's what I do. If things are just that bad, and they are, and I've been in this debate with Arsenal when it's just been like you just can't see an end. You just give yourself some time away from it, mate.
Well, I did today. I mean, I
was
up early. I was up early this morning. I've only just sat at the computer now to get tonight's show ready.
Okay, fair enough.
I've done a few bits, and you said, Pop, I saw you, and I thought I'd just pop in and congratulate you on doing the double again over us. I'd have to admit, North London, it's not the it is lily white, but with little bits of red in it. And look, you have to hold your hands up and say Arsenal were the better team. And they were last night. We were toothless, we were passionless, we were nothing.
Well, that was the bit that scared me, was the passionless part.
That's the bit that upset me.
Yeah. You know,
you know yourself, Bobby. You're a massive Arsenal fan, right? I know you're a massive Rangers fan. You may have a banter about Celtic Rangers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But would you ever sit in a Glasgow derby? We would never see that between Celtic and Rangers.
No. Well, if you think about all the different clubs that I support across Europe, which is AC Milan, obviously arch rivals Inter Milan. I've got Dortmund. Obviously, they have the Classica. You know, I would be so disappointed in my team if they turned up to a derby game and just didn't perform. I'd be like, nah, what the hell is wrong with this team? And that's what, for me, is what I think will chop Ange's head off, is the fact that the passion wasn't even there last night. It's a North London derby, for Christ's sake. You know,
and I think this is... Sorry, Bobby.
No, carry on, mate.
Sorry, no, I apologise. And this is the reason why I don't think we're buying anyone, because I don't think they see, probably the board think, right, we're going to get another manager in. I think they're ready. If I'm right on this is just my opinion and my gut, but I think Tottenham want the next manager to come in straight away and sack Ange or point straight away. They don't want him. This is what I think is happening. It's just my gut feeling, but that's how I feel. But maybe I'm wide off the mark on that.
No, I believe that Tottenham will have someone ready to literally come in straight away. If they obviously decide to pull the plug. I personally think they should do it today. I think they should have done it this morning. That's just, I'm not saying this as an Arsenal fan or to wind anyone up. It's literally, I just think that is enough. Personally, I think, you know, there's been some results recently. Obviously, you've beat Man City, you beat Liverpool, but then you lose to Ipswich, which I can't personally, as a person from Colchester, cannot take anyone losing to Ipswich. Personally, Ipswich should lose every single game there is. But in all seriousness, it's a case of, I think those have got him through but then last night again, and again, if you obviously don't get a result against Everton at the weekend, that for me has to be it. If anything, you the fans should be calling him out. I don't know if they are at Tottenham Stadium, but I think they should be. It's weird, actually. Michael's just come up with this. Dermot, are the rumours true that Ange will be sacked if you lose Sunday and Terzic, ETH or Southgate will be in? Terzic, I will guarantee, has definitely got a possibility at Tottenham. Just saying.
I think he's our next manager. Look, you know our source very well, Bobby, and Colin as well. You know the sources we use on the channel. You and Bobby know him very well, better than I do. And he's saying in conversations we've had with him, saying that, and it's Sunday. I mean, we broke last night. There was a meeting last night. Maybe, you know, I ordered a meeting with Ange, and I think I feel sorry for Ange. And the problem is, Bobby, I wanted it to work so much.
Yeah.
And it's both clubs, I think, Arsenal and Tottenham, are not clubs anymore. And that's the bit that really hurts me.
Yeah.
And it probably hurts you and it hurts Brenny. We're franchises. We're not football clubs.
No.
And you can say what you like about other teams. You can say what you like about Man City or Man United or Liverpool. But Liverpool never forget they're a football club, first and foremost. You Arsenal should be looking at George the Great than you had under George Graham or Terry Neal or Arsene Wenger, right? You were a football club. You're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
We have to go back to the 60s and 70s to get our major success. And the 80s. And it's my club's dead. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is dead. It's Tottenham Hotspur franchise is alive at the moment.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Negative, sorry.
No, it's all right. I hear you, mate. Toby would love to see Ten Hag manage Tottenham. Of course you would. I think that might be a good time to end it, to be fair. But Dermot, mate, appreciate it.
Yeah.
You say you got a show later, have you? So where can they find you,
Yeah,
my
I've,
friend?
I've got one at 8. It's post-match reactions or post-match rant from me. But look, we're going to go over the game, play ratings, all that sort of thing. I just wanted to pop in and congratulate Arsenal and you, Bobby and Benny, for showing what a North London derby should be. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, THFC today, if you like to come over, I'm live at 8 every night, and let's watch alongs are different. Yeah, we're on the Washington tape. But please get this guy, get the full-time sports network and get the armory up to 1,000. Let's get them monetized. Let's get them up there so they can start earning money from the successful channels they have. And they're our partner, and we will back this channel to the hilt in any way, shape, or form.
Appreciate that, mate. But yeah, guys, I have got to go because I did say I need to finish this by 5. So I will definitely see you all tomorrow because I've got the preview for the Villa game that's happening Saturday night, which I will do as a watch along. But yeah, guys, enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Dermot, take it easy, mate, and try and enjoy your show later. I know it's going to be mainly ranting. But guys, appreciate it. Big up to the 300 people currently watching. Speak to you all later. Bye-bye.